we're looking at different ways to protect your crops, and one of the best ways that we learned so far here was to actually keep weeds away from them. So maybe the taller that the weeds get, maybe the preferred distance away from anything you're doing, maybe the best. So, like, say, if you do something on the middle of your property, and it's in a place somewhere where you can't be bothered by past your borders, where somebody else might not be um, maybe taking care of their stuff as much as you are, or maybe it's away from somewhere on your property, or maybe it's just hard to get to. I don't know, but getting out weeds is definitely one of the ways, or one way that we prefer um, to try to see you can get many types of invasive bugs to get out of it. It's basically right off the bat. We worry and are concerned about bugs big time, and we're very familiar with them and the type that are in the particular area that we've been in for a while. So we know that not just the growth in size of one's crop is not just the only important thing um, going on in this procedure, but once you get to the point when you have budding crops where they are showing they're going to give you some fruit or whatnot, you might have certain types of invasive creatures, bugs, that will come in and will disrupt those, not the growth of them, but they'll go straight for your food, your crop that's growing right there, and they'll eat those. So it took a long time to get to the point where you even have the plants that big to where they can even start producing eggplants or tomatoes or what, corn or whatever. So we stay constantly concerned about the well-being and welfare of the bugs in particular and keeping them out. So we'll go through these. These are some of my watermelons are doing really good. That DE stuff worked really well. I feel the planter wrap I'm going to try to um, kind of bring these lattice things back to life. And I had some leftover plants that I had in the pots. I wanted to put them in something, so we're going to grow these in this, see how well they do. It's got a deep base down in the pot, so we'll see if we can maintain those and keep those healthy back when June comes, and there's going to be a specific invasive creature that is going to come at that particular time and attack the tomato plants. So your tomatoes, I don't even know if it's like I said before. What before I think I said I'm not sure if it's just better just to call it good and rip all your tomato plants out and put them in your compost. We have a compost bell, and it goes spins around. You put all of your waste and everything in there that you wouldn't feed to your scraps to your chickens or whatever, and you throw it in your compost baler. Now I'm using one other product that I'm using, and this is for coffee drinkers, people who drink coffee. So whenever you have left out coffee and you dump it out, I usually put stuff everywhere. I have a place for everything like that. So when I have leftover coffee, I've been saving it up, and I have like a specific cup that I pour it in, and then I'll take it out, and I've been pouring it on my eggplants because they're a little bit older, mature plants. Not wanting to put them on um, younger plants, but we've seen these um, basically these plants were not doing well the other day. But let's see if I can get this up here. You see that? There it is. Here's my corn today. This is just a few moments ago. This is in a video here, whatever. That I just went and kind of uploaded into it. So we're showing the corn. At the beginning here, I showed my beans. Here's the beans. Check them out. Look how good these beans look. Now remember, keep in mind that I'm like becoming an expert, like professional bug killer on all the invasive species that come that come in. Look at my marigolds. They're all like they look giant, like the giant marigolds. I'm not even sure if they're the small marigolds anymore. I'm just kind of thinking they're the giant ones now because they haven't even bloomed yet and they're huge now. These are my eggplants. I've been pouring my like a lot of stuff. I put dish soap. I take dish soap that I use when I make a juicer or something like that inside the house. Tomatoes popping up everywhere. But anyways, I'll scoop my juice and my dishwater when I clean the juicer or whatever. I take that with the Dawn that I clean it with, and I rinse all the stuff off and put it back together when it dries. But I'll scoop the soap water that I use that's got all of the plant vitamins and everything, and all the plant debris in the water. I'll put that in a bucket, and I was taking that out and putting that on those eggplants. So the soil there underneath those eggplants is just ready to just grow anything hardy all through that whole area right there because of how well we've been preserving those plants in the area in particular. Doing a strict, natural diet. There's another tomato right in there. Tomatoes. I started planting some right in there, but let me see. They're coming up. The tomatoes are coming up left and right. So that's another type of bug repellent is dish soap. So I try to stay away from. I mean, I guess I would have put any old dish soap in there, but I would have hoped that I would had captured more of the soap and water, dirty soap, used soap or whatever for your dishes or whatnot, and then took that and put that on my plants, because that's what I did with when I did my juicer. So I'm putting everything in a compost in my body or out here, and we're gonna say I wanted to say at the beginning you must have a strict kind of diet or you must be healthy and kind of strong in order to be beyond ornery like that, like I say here. Otherwise, you ain't worth the shit. So, um, this is kind of just saying how necessary that it is. Here's my crop right here. So we put that dust stuff in there. Um, we use Seven Dust. We use the DE diatomaceous earth. Um, we use Dawn. We take a tablespoon of Dawn to a gallon of water. You fill a gallon jug of water up. Then you put a tablespoon. I usually use like a teaspoon, like a smaller amount than a tablespoon. Not quite as much as a tablespoon. It sounds like a lot. So sounds like an overkill to me. So I would suggest the teaspoon, the smaller one, in a gallon. When you put that on the plants, I was used to putting that on roses originally, but anyways, that's it. And then the the coffee has been working out pretty good. I seen somebody use somehow they gave a spider, some coffee or whatever. So I just wanted to put coffee on those. I know that the plant, I'll tell you, the plants appreciate the wasted coffee or whatever that you just dump out or whatever. The plant appreciates it, and it distorts the bugs obviously, so they kind of go scatterbrain a little bit or whatever. They can't handle it. Like it's like probably it would be like overdosing us with coffee instead of just gradually giving us coffee like we normally are used to our intake. A cup here and then another cup and then another cup instead of just you know having it sort of concentrate. So maybe it comes out sort of concentrate to them because it dries up and goes into the plant. The plant appreciates the coffee and the extra work and stuff that you do to it. I know that for a fact, but you can look at them right there. Those are those eggplants behind the corn right there. Is what I did that with in particular. So I did all kinds of things to keep them off and to keep them healthy. Somehow, I'm in the South, so I'm not surprised that I got spider mites, around the area or whatever, and that I have to deal with them, and that they want to basically, um, come around like they do or whatever. I'm trying to say you have to fight them and get rid of them. So I have a couple different ways of doing that, and I'm trying to um, not like kill bees off because I want to consider someday getting some bees, maybe having some beehives and stuff. So I don't want to hurt any bee or any bugs that would be good. And as a matter of fact, when I just went out there a little while ago, you see this pepper plant. It's got peppers on it already behind this tomato plant right here. I seen a ladybug today, and it was not one of those orange beetles that look like a ladybug. It was, see those peppers coming in already, doing really good. But on that plant, those plants right there, there was a genuine, bright, beautiful red back ladybug on those plants. It was a real pretty sight. It made me kind of happy when I seen it. So all my plants are doing very well right now. Well, so the trick kind of ended up being that how we play this game here with these plants here is month to month you can tell what kind of different bugs are going to come in. Even probably to the ones that come out of the tree, they're like a silkworm or whatever. I know we were dealing with a lot of those through different types of year times, and they came down and they were like more periodic than any other time. It seemed like in the winter when the winter was coming on and stuff. So about the time that you were about ready to prepare for your greenhouses and stuff, you really should ought to be um, maybe building your greenhouse away from trees. And uh, if you're gonna have the trees, do it away from there and trim your trees or whatever you gotta do. But we probably should have cut a couple more trees down. Um, so that's just something from nature you cannot stop. But that seven dust worked really well on those, and I'll tell you, I'm not afraid of eating the stuff after applying it, the fruit or whatever. I just I might have used to being like, oh, in the hype or whatever. but all of this stuff is all organically grown, and Seven Dust isn't when you say it's not toxic, a toxic serum substance or whatever either. It's specifically designed and made to protect your food. And sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. I've ate the food from it. And all I can tell you is use caution whenever you put this stuff on your plants. Wait until it dries completely before you touch the plant that you sprayed it on. And basically, I would, if the fruit was ripe right afterward, I would eat it right off of the plant as long as it had dried already. But I wouldn't be putting the stuff on a beautiful fruiting plant anyways unless there was something on that plant. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's very necessary, in my opinion, to root out and weed out, so to speak, all of that stuff, and really be prepared and thoroughly concerned, um, you know, about all of that stuff. So that's all. I'm gonna basically say, if you can't understand all of what I just said and the products that I basically put up there, um, let's see them again one more time. See if I can. I'll just mention them one quick time before I go. We got DE, that's the diatomaceous earth. We have the Dawn soap. This soap is a natural substance. We use a tablespoon of that to a gallon jug of water. After we fill a gallon jug up, we shake that up with a little teaspoon of Dawn in that, and spread that around our plants. And each one might give a different result in kind of helping strategy to end up basically eliminating the bug and defeating them and winning the war. So you're looking to conquer um, these um, bugs that are really going to, you know, try and cause real problems to your your gardens. So and then we have the Seven Dust ready to spray bug killer. This says kills over 100 listed bugs, and it's on vegetables and fruits. So that's just a trusted product with me. There is Seven Dust like the DE that is a powder that you can use, but we actually have the spray. And if it was really kind of moist, like I've been saying, we didn't have to water our crops for every morning or whatever. A forecast came 2 days into spraying it. We were going to spray water for 25 minutes to a half hour every morning, but we haven't had to for a couple of days now. And we only did that for a couple of days to begin with. And I was gonna say with the Seven Dust liquid that goes on your hose, and then you spray it out like that. I would do it whenever it was forecast like that. If there was a little break in sunlight where the sunlight could maybe damper down on the plants a little bit and dry them a little bit while you have the Seven Dust on it. It's moist out there. The liquid that goes in your hose, like I have, that's when I also would prefer to use it too, not just also for on the spot, use. If I like say also if I come in and we have the locusts. Say there's something breaks out and there's just an enormous nest of locusts that just hatched or something crazy going on. I'll grab the 7 dust and I will shoot them out of the crop, out of the plant, before they can do too much damage if I'm able to catch it in time. And plus, also, I like to depend on birds. If you have chickens and stuff like that, it's good to use them also if you can manage to use them to eat your bugs. Just everywhere, just eat bugs out of there, out of the place. But like leave your crops alone if you could manage to do that, and then not invade your crop because they'll become an invasive problem also. Um, then that's another type of remedy for your bugs also right there. Especially the ones that um, are harmful. And we are all kind of looking out for the specific bugs that don't do harm to your crops, like the bright red ladybug, colored ladybugs. The orange one, orange color looking, it looks like a ladybug, is actually a beetle. It's an Asian beetle, and it is a bad type of invasive bug. Um, you don't want it on there. But if you have those bright red ladybugs around, I believe that those will kill them. Our marigold, um, it's kind of funny that we had that this marigold up here, but we'll show it one more time with all of our products, um, because you see you have the 7 dust, you have the Dawn, you have the DE. I mentioned coffee. I had a cup of coffee that I had sitting there, but I guess I took it out of the picture. But anyways, your marigolds right here are with. They have to be with roses, I believe. Maybe you'd have to look it up yourself, but I looked it up. Found that out in plant book, reading in plant books or whatever. That when you combine the smell of a marigold um, and a rose bud, when they bloom together, the smell together brings in a certain type of bug, aphanoid bug that kills aphids. So if you have aphids on your roses, that's another thing too. Also, we're kind of spilling a little bit out beyond the garden because these are, you know, um, just different ways to protect your gardens and stuff. So I have a really awesome man garden that I built. It's basically not a vegetable garden. It's got roses and some other types of natural plants that are native or whatever that grew there that I had put together and worked on. It's pretty nice, but I'm not going to show that to you now. I can give you enough information on um, basically getting everybody caught up on the water uh, on my garden project. I wanted to say something a little bit about watering. If you overwater and underwater, you have to be right on track with your watering, because I don't know if you have to figure out how to reclaim your water, where used water that goes in the ground, reclaim it so you can reuse it again, or what you have to do, but it can cause certain problems, in my opinion, with crops, like if they split. I think that they're either overwatering, over fertilizing, or they did something wrong with the specific way that you'd be out of tune with the plant. You sort of have to be in tune with the plant when it needs some water, when it needs to be fed some food. I mean, maybe even to the detail, like, oh, I feed it specifically chicken manure tea, or oh, I make a special batch of fish manure, fish emulsion tea or something specifically. But you're in tune with your crops and those plants. They tell you what they need specifically in particular. So you're right on key. So that's kind of my answer with anybody around the world that is having problems with their crops, their watermelon, or any anything is off kilt or something. It's because you are not in tune with the plant, and or there maybe it might have something to do with um, weird weather, maybe, or something like that. But I would definitely suggest to you to try to get in key with it. I'm not trying to knock anybody or tell anybody that they're not capable of being in tune with anything. I'm just saying that you're probably more than likely not. We're all human. We could be guilty of those different things. So I try to stay in tune with my plants and what I'm doing as much as I possibly can. And I am willing to give this information out because I like the planet and I like different things. I'm really not a negative like person. I'm more have a want to see the world really shine. You know what I mean? I want it to be at its best potential by everybody being able to have their own peace of mind, sort of. And definitely going out to the garden and digging some stuff up and moving some stuff around and basically having some fun out there, get you out in the sun maybe a little bit. And get too hot, you can go back after 5 like I do sometimes. So I do whatever I do on different times when I have the chance to go out and do the garden thing. And it's a hot day. I'll be like, before I'll get out there like a farmer when the butt crack hits the light out, at dawn, and then I'll work until like 9 or so, or 10, or however, and then I'll go back later in the afternoon and I'll finish up. And it's all pretty much smooth like that. So we're just basically keeping an eye out for everybody. I don't know. Perhaps maybe if um, you're doing good, then maybe I'm doing good. If I'm doing good, then you're doing good. So, you know, it's just a positive thing that I'm doing for no um, uh, like monetary. I decided not to do it for a monetary um, reason, so to speak, in particular. I think that whenever it comes down to it, I'm really kind of excited even, but more, um, I would say, leaning towards, um, you know, surely depending on my own self for my own wealth or welfare or whatever I do. I'm going to try to take care of my own self the best that I can, and it some people it might not. It might start somewhere else, but with me, I believe that it's right there in the garden. You have all those healthy foods. You have blends that you can put together. You know, um, just to sustain and keep your body healthy, so that you can stay on track and take care of yourself like that. However, you have to do that. So I just felt like doing this for the heck of it, and also people so that people know if I do get known a little bit out there, that they can tell that I know what I'm talking about. and that I don't have my head up my ass, and that I know my way around the garden and stuff. Thanks. So it is, I guess, a little bit of recognition. So I'll admit that. I want at least recognition out of them. If they're good videos and you like them, that's what I wanted. I think money's good too, and I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying there's time and place for everything, and you have to put everything kind of into perspective. Try to work it out however you can, like that. And I'm not too sure about everything how it all works in the world um, out there like that. So definitely I'm gonna play it by ear. And thanks for watching the video. It's just like I said, I just want people to be able to have a little bit of knowledge of what they're doing. And if you are, say, you have um, these gardens and you build them and they're really prestigious and they're beautiful, you also have to be careful of certain people when they come over too, because that spider mite thing, um, say like if I went out, say if I got cleaned up and thoroughly I'm clean, right, and I put clean clothes on and I go out and I mess with that plant and spider mites get on me and I go over to somebody else's house, I have a potential of carrying that over into somebody else's garden and making that somebody else's problem. So I'm just going to add that before I go real quick, to also be concerned with people who you deal with or hang out with or meet or come by or whatever. It's important that they basically stay out of your gardens, basically, because you don't know if they got anything wrong with them or not. So it's just a suggestion, kind of rumor type of thing that I kind of try to live by a little bit myself. So I was used to doing that before. So anyhow, thanks for watching the video or whatever. Thanks.